Hello everyone, it is I, Joshua Rooney. I have returned, but this time I'm doing a review. And this time it's not going to be a game or a statue or anything of the sort. And I kind of really wish I was doing another statue. Thank you everyone, by the way, again, for that video I had with the Marauder statue. I'm very honored with all you guys' support. It really makes me really feel special. And you know what? I want to do something different. I know this is a gaming channel, but this time I'm going to do my truck after 5,000 miles. So I own this vehicle for around 5,000 miles. I am the second owner. And I would like to say, before I say anything, I'm not saying that my vehicle is any better than yours, even though it's basically flat stock. Or I'm basically saying, like, hey, look, Grand Cherokees are better than a Jeep Wrangler. Look, I just personally think I'd rather spend $6,000 on this Jeep Grand Cherokee right here than a Jeep Wrangler that is going to be a rust bucket. So, this is a 2007 Jeep Grand Cherokee. She has a 5.7 liter Hemi. Automatic, of course. Sort of chrome wheels. Chrome trim. And she has a nice, wonderful automatic start. So, that isn't really loud, but for what it is for flat stock, not too bad. She, unfortunately, is just basically stock right now. The only little difference I have with this one than the one I had before, other than the fact that it's newer, is I had a 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which obviously is a completely different body style than this one. I loved it. It had a 4.7 liter V8. This one's got a 5.7 liter V8. First thing about the 5.7 liter V8. Probably the most dependable engine I've ever owned. Yeah, sure. It's a Mopar. It's a boat. It's not literally the fastest vehicle on the planet. But for 330 horsepower stock, I can get out of my way for a change rather than just move aside because there's a big giant friggin' dually truck in my way. No, I can get, if you're right at my ass, I'm going to get out of the way. I don't need to friggin' move for you. I'll move for my own terms. It is by far my best investment I have currently. For modifications, I only have a Diablo Sport Tune, which, I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, which only gives me about 25 more horsepower, so roughly gives me around 350, 370, maybe, but it definitely makes a difference. I can now rev higher, better gas mileage, that kind of stuff, and you know what? I love it. I need that better gas mileage because it is not that good on gas. For the way I drive it, it's terrible. So if I look to the interior, it's an all-leather interior. I have navigation, and I have satellite radio, which is really nice. I never had, and I've always wanted, navigation in one of my cars. Ever since I was a kid, I was like, oh my god, I always gotta have one. But now that I have one, it's the greatest thing. I mean, sure, I have one on my phone and blah, 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 or I can get a TomTom. But, you know, I don't really care about that kind of stuff because I'm not always going to look in my, on my phone when I'm driving. I don't want to get pulled over. I can just look at this thing. And this thing helps a lot. It's got a little outdated. I do not want to get copyrighted. So for navigation, yes, obey traffic laws. Yes. Some roads are indeed not here. Like, I have a road called Cooper Lane. Doesn't even exist. It doesn't even exist. So I'm living on an invisible road right now. AM, FM radio, satellite radio, which works alright. But other than that, she sounds pretty good. I can actually have an equalizer on here too, so I can change the sound, which is really nice. Onto some other technological features. I have little pedals here. If you can see, I don't think you can really see because how slow they're moving. actual working pedals, which is really rare because my dad had 2 of these before. One actually broke down, unfortunately, and he got that one fixed. He owns that one. And he had one that he just sold. Actually, he had 3, and he sold another one. But he really loves these. I love these. And these always break. The motors break, and then they're expensive to fix because they don't have them in the new ones for some reason. Regular Mercedes transmission works alright. I have the Quattro-Drive 2, which I think it's a little bit more updated. But, I'm not really too keen on, what's different. I don't know anything of the sort. But it's definitely shifts pretty smooth. With that Diablo Sport, I ended up changing the shift points. Now I rev up to like 5,000 to 6,000 RPM before I change a gear when I'm flooring it. She can tow up to 4,000 pounds. Even with the V6, it can tow up to that weight. So if you want to get a better gas mileage but need a tow, it's definitely up your alley. She sounds pretty good. She has leather interior, leather seats in the glove box, and nice little fans on the side here. These are really handy in certain situations. Obviously, the back seats are also leather, cup holders, and I also have, high and low drive. You don't really want to touch that unless you're going uphill, but you can definitely go 4-wheel drive low, 4-wheel drive high, that kind of stuff. So, why should you buy one of these vehicles? Sure, you don't have to buy the one I got. It's got a 5.7 liter Hemi. Some people don't want to even go fast. And it's not really the fastest vehicle on the planet. It is an SRT of this model, which makes 425 horsepower. That's a lot for what of the year. But if you want something clean, something slick, something at least a little pretty, and definitely reliable. I still see these on the road when I worked at a mechanic shop with the V6s. 300,000 miles on it. Now, this one only has 173,000 miles, but it still runs like it's brand new. And that's all I care about. Does she run good? Yes. Does she look good? Yes. But my only complaint with my Jeep is this right here. Now, this was done at touch-up paint for my Jeep, and before I owned it, I don't guess maybe the owner must have scratched something, and the dealer never really told me anything about this. So I was really upset about it, but I still kept it because my work wanted me to pay like $1,000 when I still worked there to get it fixed, take off this dent, paint all these doors. Not worth it, in my opinion. But hey, if I had $1,000 at the time, I would have spent it, but it wasn't worth it to me. I love the Jeep the way it is, the way it rides, the way it sounds. You can hear that. Definitely sounds pretty good for 173,000 miles. And you know what? You should buy one too.